To sell on the internet, your products or website need to be easy to find, and the site itself should be easy to use. You'll also need to treat your customers fairly. Coming up, we'll give you ideas on building your own website and alternative ways you can sell online. We'll also give you advice on the laws you'll have to follow. Selling your product or service via the internet could be quite profitable, so it's worth giving your options some serious thought. First, let's look at creating your online shop. Building your own website is cheaper than paying someone else to do it, but if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up with a site that puts customers off. So, put your customers first from the start. Get ideas about what works by using other websites. What makes you want to buy from them? You may find the best ones have simple designs and are very easy to use. Creating an online shop yourself is probably a lot easier than you think. There are lots of website building services available online that you can use to create a relatively simple site surprisingly quickly. Or, if you don't think your computing skills are up to that, another way to sell products online is through an established internet marketplace, such as eBay or Amazon. One advantage of this option is that these sites already have lots of visitors, but you'll also make less profit because you'll have to pay fees. Another option is to hire a professional web designer to create a business website for you. You'll have more control over what the site looks like and its features, but this option will cost more. Talk to designers to find out what you can afford. Decide how much you're willing to spend and stick to it. If you want to take payments through your website, your site will need a shopping cart function and a secure way for customers to pay. One more option is to take payments through an online service like PayPal or Moneybookers. But if you set up an internet merchant bank account, it's also possible to take payments directly. You can find more advice on accepting online payments elsewhere on this site. Make sure you test your site before launching it. You can test it yourself, but you should also consider getting some independent and unbiased people to test it for you. Also, keep an eye on how people use your site. Change things that don't work and add new things to keep it fresh. To get more advice on using a professional web designer to build your site, click here. You've seen some of the options to build your website. Now we'll look at what to put on it and what laws you'll need to follow. What your visitors see on your site should tell them clearly and honestly about your business and the product or services you sell. There are some things you have to tell customers by law: your address and contact details, how you'll protect their personal information, and what they can expect when buying from you. These are your terms and conditions of sale. The terms and conditions are the legal agreement between you and each customer. They'll include things like how they can pay you and what you'll do if they want to return goods. Use your homepage to tell visitors what you sell and why they should buy it. Competitors are just a click away, so be brief and focus on what makes you different. Are your products higher quality? Is your customer service better? If so, tell them. You must describe your products accurately and tell people exactly what they'll have to pay, including any VAT and delivery charges. Don't spring any surprises on your customers. What you do to promote your site will also affect what's on it. For example, search engine optimization and pay-per-click advertising will influence the way you describe your products. You might also want a function that makes it easy for customers to share what they found with friends on networking sites like Facebook and Twitter. Take a look at this to see some ideas on how to promote your website to attract more visitors. That's your website content and promotion covered. Now let's look more at the laws you need to know about when selling online. These laws do three things. They help protect customers' rights, make sure their personal information is safe, and ensure what they buy is of good enough quality. The e-commerce regulations set out the information about your business that you must give to your online customers. They also ensure that agreements made online are legally binding, so you and your customers have to stick to your word. The Data Protection Act controls how you use and protect personal information you hold about customers, including addresses and bank details. And distance selling rules make sure you give your customers clear information before they order from you. Under these, you have to confirm orders in writing and offer a cooling off period during which customers can cancel their order. These laws ensure that you don't mislead visitors to your website. Any information you give about products, delivery and prices must be truthful and clearly stated. The design and content of your site must also respect other people's copyright. For example, you shouldn't use anyone else's text, images or music on your site unless you've got their permission. And remember to help disabled customers use your website by making it clear and accessible. To find out about your tax obligations when selling on the internet, click here. Online selling laws are in place to make sure you trade fairly and treat your customers well. Remember, it doesn't have to be costly or time-consuming to build your website. However, to get the best site, it pays to use a professional. You'll also need to make sure your information is clear and your site is easy to use. You must also treat customers fairly by trading within the law.